Hey guys, it's Faith from Urban Vacancy Press. Today we are speaking with Ladybird from Wichita Falls, Texas. Once again, this interview was over the phone. Anyways, let's just get right into it. Thanks for tuning in. If you guys just want to introduce yourself, what's your names and what do you play in the band?
Hello, my name is Garrett, and I sing and I play guitar for Ladybird.
My name's Peter. I play bass guitar in Ladybird.
I'm Daniel, and I play the drums. That's everybody.
So I just want to know a little bit on how the band got started and when did the band form? When did this all begin to happen?
Well, I had written our first song, Thin Places. I had just written it on acoustic guitars. I didn't really have any intentions on recording it. I just kind of wrote it as my own thing, and then Daniel decided he wanted to put drums on it, so we did end up recording it. And then Peter listened to it once we got it put up on Spotify, and he decided he wanted to get involved. And so it just kind of fell into place that way. And then we started writing music together, and it's just kind of taken off from there.
So in addition to that, how did you come up with the band name?
Everybody's first thought is that it is, I named the band after the dog from King of the Hill, Ladybird. But I actually picked the name Ladybird because of Ladybird Johnson. She was Lyndon Baines Johnson's wife, the first lady. She did the Highway Beautification Act, which basically just like she planted a lot of wildflowers all over the country. I just thought that it kind of symbolized growth, and I thought that was kind of cool, and I just thought the name sounded cool.
That's really cool. So when you're explaining your sound to, new listeners and things like that, you want to get people involved in the band, how would you explain your genre? And do you have any musical inspiration?
I usually just tell people that it's like alternative and emo. I tell people like The Story So Far and Title Fight, with just a little bit of like My Chemical Romance influence. It's just kind of just a mess of all the things that I listen to, and yeah, it's really not really anything. It's just it's just Ladybird.
So what can we listen to right now on streaming platforms?
Right now we have 2 songs on Spotify and Apple Music and other streaming platforms. We have our first single, Thin Places, and then we have our newest song called Pink and Blue. That's our acoustic single that we have out right now. But we only have 2 songs right now. We're in the process of recording our first EP, and there'll be more out on that as the process goes along.
So do you have an expected time that we can expect an EP to be out, or do you have any other plans for the future?
Right now, with everything going on, not really. We were kind of hoping to get the EP done by the end of the summer, but coronavirus has kind of slowed that down a little bit. Same thing with shows, and we had planned on maybe doing a small tour this summer, but, that's not going to happen. Just kind of trying to play it safe, But once all this slows down, there's no telling what'll happen.
I totally understand. I feel like a lot of people had so many plans for this summer, and now everything's just kind of put on hold, unfortunately.
It's crazy. Yeah, there's just so much stuff that isn't happening anymore. It's wild. Hopefully everybody can kind of get back on their feet and get back to normal after all this is over.
So how have y'all been staying busy during all this?
Just working, honestly. I live with our drummer, Daniel, and we both work full-time, basically. Peter works full-time as well, so we really just kind of work and do our thing. We've kind of put like practice and writing and stuff on hold for right now while all this kind of plays out.
So I know a lot of bands have been jumping on the trend of doing like live streams for acoustic sets and things like that. Have y'all done any of those, or do you plan to do any?
We haven't done it yet, but we are planning on at least doing like a set or a full set or an acoustic set or something like that. It's just we're kind of talking about it right now. We're not sure how we're going to do it or when we're going to do it, but we definitely want to.
That's all the questions I have for you guys. So we're just going to get into the listener questions. We had some people submit some questions, and there's some pretty good ones in here, so we'll just get right into that. Chris Ortiz wants to know, what's y'all's writing process like?
The writing process is usually I'll kind of get the bones of a song down on acoustic guitar. Like I'll come up with the melodies and the chords and just like the basic structure of it all, and then I'll bring it to practice whenever we do practice, and we just kind of flesh it out to what the song is going to be at practice. But really, it just kind of starts with me banging around on an acoustic guitar and then seeing where it goes from there.
The next one, Danny Licky wants to know, what's your favorite show you've played so far?
We have actually only played one show. We played a show at Killers in Denton back in January. It was pretty cool. We definitely want to play Denton again as soon as we can. Like I said, once all this coronavirus craziness is over. It was fun though. We had some good feedback. People seemed to like us, and we hope to be back pretty soon. Hopefully play more shows in the future.
So Eric Knighton wants to know, what's the song that takes you back to the most emotionally vulnerable place?
The most emotionally vulnerable place. I would have to say the song Wooden Heart by Listener, because that's a song that personally I listened to at a lot of points in my life whenever I was pretty low, like I was feeling pretty down. Things didn't feel very good. But I can always come back to that song and listen to the message and the words, and it always kind of brings me back to that same place of growth and kind of collecting myself again. I would say that's my answer. Do you guys have anything for that one? Here's Peter.
Probably Luca by Brand New, if I had to say, or that, or Ladies and Gentlemen, We Are Floating in Space by Spiritualized. I don't know why I can't. I don't want to get into the details. those two for me.
For Daniel, it's Black Magic Woman by Carlos Santana.
So for the next one, Cheney Elaine wants to know, what's the most proud song you guys have written so far?
The song that we're the most proud of that we have written so far? What do you guys think? What's your favorite song that you guys have out of the set? It may not be one that we have recorded already. It may be one that you have to wait to hear.
The first song.
The first song?
Yeah, I forget.
Yeah.
Song one.
Song one. Yeah, it's the first song in our set. It's called Second Chance. It's got some cool, like, NCR influences and stuff in it. It's got a lot of cool stuff going on in it. That's probably my favorite too, honestly. Daniel, what do you think? What song is your favorite out of all of them?
I like 10 Places. It was the first one we learned, so it just came more natural to like more, I guess.
Yeah, I like that one too, but I think the first one is probably my favorite.
I think you're wrong, Daniel.
Yeah, I think you're wrong, Daniel. Yeah, that's what we think.
So those were just a few questions off of Facebook. We're going to get into some Twitter questions now.
Okay.
So Brave Days, the band Brave Days as a whole, wants to know, give an in-depth explanation into your lyrical writing process.
Wow, I'm going to try to get in-depth into my lyrical writing process. Lyrically, whenever I write something, it almost always comes very quickly, and it's almost always something that's been bothering me, like, at that time. Like, during that day, usually, like, I'll sit down and start to write a song, and then I just kind of, the lyrics just kind of come out. It's I don't know. I don't really know how to explain it. I just try to be, like, as honest about how I'm feeling as I can and put it into words. I feel like I've never been very good at that, but I just try to put exactly the emotions that I'm feeling into something that people can listen to.
So there's one more question on here. Michaela Woods wants to know, why won't you play Wonderwall? Is this just like a thing? You guys don't want to cover it?
Michaela Woods loves to ask me to play the song Wonderwall because she knows that is one of my least favorite songs in the whole world. We are never, ever going to cover Wonderwall, so don't hold your breath, Michaela. That's never going to happen.
Maybe.
Don't look back and
I would kill it, though.
No way. No way. Maybe, you know what, we might someday cover Black Magic Woman by Carlos Santana just for Daniel, but never, ever Wonderwall.
So do you guys ever throw any covers into your sets?
We have one cover. We played Drain You by Nirvana There's a couple more that we've talked about doing, but Drain You is the only one that we really have down, which I have personally always wanted to cover that song in a band because it just is so much fun, and I'm really glad that we got to do that with Ladybird. But that's the one cover that we have right now. Maybe some more in the future.
So this next question, if you had to pick a show to play, like you got to put together the lineup and everything, what would your dream lineup be? My
dream lineup would be with The Story So Far headlining, and then Title Fight as a co-headliner, and then Graduating Life, and then us. Those are, I don't know. Well, Modern Baseball too. Throw Modern Baseball in there somewhere. That would be my ideal lineup. Peter, what about you?
All right, you got a piece of paper. So we started off, we'll open because we're humble. And then up next, we'll probably have Black Sabbath come on. And then we'll keep it short. We'll say Kanye West headlines. Bam. Get your money for it.
Okay, there is Peter's answer. Here comes Daniel.
Probably people you've never heard of.
But Carlos Santana, that's it. Ladybird, Texas, and Carlos Santana.
I feel like those are all very, very different answers, and you just put them together as a festival, and it could be pretty unique.
Yeah, it's definitely unique.
So with all of you guys listening to just like not completely different music, but I see y'all stand in some different genres. Whenever you're writing, do you ever notice like each person's inspiration speaking through?
I would say so, definitely. I feel like I bring a lot more of the emo, pop punky stuff to the table, and then I would like to think that we even have some like very slight doom metal influences at some points, just like some really like chuggy riffy parts, and then like really loud drony parts that Peter brings. Like, it's cool to write music with Peter because he definitely has like a broad array of influences. And then Daniel, he's just like a master percussionist. He's done basically everything you can do in a drum line for a really long time. So his drumming is just, you never know how it's going to come out or what he's going to do, but it's usually pretty cool. I think that like cohesively we come up with some pretty cool stuff that sounds like it comes from a lot of places.
So that is all the questions I have for you guys. Is there anything you want our listeners to know? Anything you want to put out there?
Well, we're Ladybird from Wichita Falls, Texas. We have music on Spotify and Apple Music. Have a couple songs that you guys can stream. Also, right now, you guys just play it safe. Stay inside, wash your hands, all that good stuff. We'll make it through this thing that's going on right now. It's just a crazy time. Just be there for each other as much as you can, and then when it's all over with, give each other a lot of hugs.
I just want to say I wish you guys the best, and I can't wait to hear this EP. I saw you guys back in January, and it was like one of the most fun sets I've ever seen, so I'm pretty excited to see you guys again.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, it was a blast. We had a lot of fun playing that show, and we're looking forward to making it back to Denton and other places soon, hopefully.
All right, so that's everything. We'll see you guys in the next episode.